Hello everyone, I am ZakuInsight, and this channel is for mainly game reviews and game tutorials. For now, I will be changing it up in the future if I feel like it, because this might be pretty fun. I'm just going to test it. And if not, then, oh well, so be it, I'll just stick to this. But, there's one slight difference. Most of this is going to be very different than usual for me because of my schedule. My schedule is going to be very complex for this small channel. Because sometimes I will be doing this because this is literally just a channel just for fun. Really fun. Yes, I agree. But I want to do is save you guys you people some time for you guys to actually figure out games that you're looking at a store and saying, oh yeah, no, I could possibly get that one, but I don't know if it's good. I am here to help you, because I will be reviewing games and showing, oh yeah, this is not a bad game, you should get it. I'm going to be playing a lot of different games. And so we go on, because this is going to be a review of one of my personal favorites that's actually pretty good, Turbo Overkill. It's a game to where it is about you in a giant city. It is just like Cyberpunk, sort of. Instead, it is way different in its art style and graphic. But please remember, kids, do not do this game until you're like, let's see, 10 or 12. Because this is really graphic. Please, heed my warning here. But it's a pretty good game. It is significantly different than most of your other type of shooter games. Like Doom. That one is like completely different from this one. This one gets really good in its end. And it is really, like, it is impressive how good these developers are. Even though you nearly hear nothing about this game, it is really fun. Trust me. Because I am here to save you guys some time. And I am also here to help you. So then, gaming tips and tricks than usual. Because this game is very different from what you would expect. Because it sounds, oh yeah, no, this might be the average single boomer shooter game. No, it is not. It is not. This is way different. I thought the same too when I first booted it up. It is way different. And it even has a progression system. And for any of you fans who I hear, oh, you know, I could probably speedrun that game in 2 minutes. You can. I agree. But there's hard mode and such. I'm using casual. And I get beat to a pulp in this, but still, I digress. It's very different. But yes, this game is pretty good. There are many others I will be covering, and that is simple. But there might be gaps in between. They're like a day or two long, depending on how long the game actually takes to record. Because this gameplay, I literally had to mute because of how loud it would get. And also, it is very, very, very fun. But sometimes this game is actually pretty difficult, especially starting out. Is like complex because usually it either gives you nothing, depending on difficulty wise, and it will give you something called, well, a game that you can play for long periods of time. I actually played it for like a lot because I was addicted to it because of how fun it was. That's really it. That is pretty much all the game's premise. It's supposed to be enjoyable. I give you guys games that are actually enjoyable and that you can play very frequently. But it is very much sort of like some other games that I'll talk about later. To where it is this is like a pure offline, well, actually, yeah, a pure offline game that you can completely play, but it does not have it, well, actually, it does have multiplayer, but it's not the one that you would expect. It's PvE instead of PvP. You and your buddies could compete against it. Yes, I agree with you on that part. But it is different because it has an endless mode, which gathers all of the difficulties and such to where you can absolutely play it on your off time and still enjoy it. Or on your time at work, which actually you could probably do. I'm joking. That was a complete joke. Please don't do that. I would rather have you guys have a job or anything. Please. But yeah, jokes aside, it's good. It has a bunch of neat mechanics, like the missile launchers and also pistols. Pistols at the beginning, you're able to actually lock on certain targets really quickly. You actually can see in the footage. But it also comes at a cost. The cooldown is very much different than many shooter titles. It's sort of like Eternal, to where you get a gun to your arsenal, it's not a complete upgrade. It is actually something different. And you can actually get secrets and such really quickly throughout it. But I digress. This is a gaming channel. I basically play the games, and you guys get to hear about how they are, and also if I would suggest it. And you guys can also leave comments on. Oh yeah, you can. You guys can just suggest me games. That is really all I'm trying to say. That is really it. But I will also be doing other types of reviews in the future because I'm not going to be doing this for years on years, like forever. Yeah, no, I'm not going to be trying that. So I would rather at least have you guys have a game to where you guys can play it, and also some that you can actually enjoy. There's many other ones, and I will be reviewing a game actually in a few videos. But they're mainly going to be tutorials on like Minecraft, Dyson Sphere, and like Terraria for building tips on how to make your base look good and all that. But some of it will be different because I am doing this in my free time. So I would appreciate if you could hit the like and subscribe button. You guys don't have to, but please. Because I'm very much just starting out. I never knew how difficult this was. I'm not trying to complain, but I would at least heed. This is very different from what you would expect. Because I had to edit this and get all this gameplay. It didn't take long. It didn't. I'm not suggesting that. It's just trying to, like, read and such. Because this is, like, my 50th attempt on trying to read the script. And it's going good. Because, well, you guys are hearing it. Try not to complain, but yeah, it's pretty simple. It's simple, but not too simple. But I am really just low, so yeah, that's mainly it. But there's also some other things I would like to comment on about this game. It is really different at the beginning than it is to the end. And if you like mechs, motorcycles, and trying to dodge every single enemy on the map, good job, you found the right game. Well, actually, partial. Because guess what? Later levels, you actually get to see some really cool stuff. And as you saw, I just grabbed a chip. Well, if you look back on it. But yeah, that's one of the things that adds difficulty. And also, there's actually multiple other slight things. Pretty much, this game also allows you to have chainsaws. Is it? Oh, and also, disclaimer warning here. This will be the part to where it will be mainly spoilers, by the way. So, yeah, I would let you guys click off now. But basically, you get chainsaw arms and another chainsaw. Because that slide of yours that you can see on this game, it basically allows you to go onto the ground and hit multiple enemies at once. And actually, it does a lot of things I literally can't show. But yeah, it looks completely different from this footage, except for the actual gameplay itself. It's just blue. Yeah, I really admit that part. But yeah, it has a bunch of secrets and such. You guys will love it, probably, if you love the boomer shooters like Doom. Because guess what? In between the time of Doom the Dark Ages and Eternal, I played this game. I was like, hey, this is actually pretty nice. Might play a little more. And then I took like 4 months on playing it. Yeah, I played it for like 4 months straight. But then, I also figured out, hey, this is sort of like a game. It's called Ultrakill. You guys, okay, some of you may know about it, some of you might not. It's okay, but I will be doing a review on that too. Because this is really different from anything else. And hopefully, I can actually keep doing this. Because I am absolutely enjoying this. But if not, then oh well. Because I get to absolutely still play games. And I would also do is get multiple more things. Because this game also allows you to get upgrades on upgrades on upgrades. and also has a pretty interesting final boss. But I won't talk about that later. But yeah, once I do a full playthrough, I actually might do that soon. But yeah, I also have another game called Titanfall 2. I will possibly be doing that as my second review, second or third one. Yeah, third one probably because this technically counts as one. But still, if you know or if you have a PC, get this game. Trust me. And also, it doesn't take up that much room. You'd be surprised. But yeah, if you want to get a cheap game that is absolutely pretty great, get Turbo Overkill. Because it is overkilling my brain. Trust me on this one. Yeah, no, it absolutely makes no sense until you play it. Once you play it, then you'll understand. Because this is a really fast-paced game. Because as you can see, it's already near time. But, as a note before I leave, this game, I hope I'm not a boring channel. I want to give you guys at least a pretty good reason not to go to sleep during this. This is not supposed to be a lecture. It's supposed to be a fun time to where me and the audience, you guys, at least get to check out a game. And also I get to replay these because it's been a little too long, not gonna lie, since I played this. But yeah, that's mainly it. But there are a few notes I do want to say that like is the final bit of this review. This is literally my first video, and it's basically my introduction to everything. So please, don't go too hard on the comments saying, oh yeah, no, editing doesn't look too good. That's because I am literally using a free software at this moment. But yeah, that is mainly going to be it. Because I am absolutely tired, and I hope you guys have a good day, as this is the end of ZakuInsight for the rest of this time. And have a good day.